Okay, we're on. That's our first Spanish mackerel, I reckon. The key is try and get him before the sharks. Spanish mackerel off Caloundra. Happy days. Well, here we are guys, beautiful morning. We're down at Caloundra Powerboat Club, just launching the boat. We're going to head out and see if we can catch Spanish mackerel. G'day guys, Dave Granville here. You might recognise me from a few of the other Coastwatch videos. I actually used to own Coastwatch for a little while, actually more like a custodian after Brownie retired, but there's new owners now and they're really keen to get some really good fishing content. So this is probably the first of many videos that hopefully we'll do. Basically today we're in Caloundra, we're heading out of the new Bribey Bar, and the target species is Spanish mackerel, but we'll just see how the day goes. Absolutely glamour morning, sun's just popping up, and yeah, I reckon we should get on the move. Yeah, I'm going to troll some big dead baits to start with, try and get a big Spanish mackerel. There's been a lot of school fish around, sort of 7 to 10 kilos, but ideally it'd be nice to get one about 20 kilo today. That'd be a dream come true. So yeah, big baits, big fish. Okay, so these are my trolling rods of choice for today. A Wilson Live Fibre and a Shimano Speedmaster. So I've got braid on there, 30 pound with a fairly long mono leader. I like to have a little bit of stretch when I'm mackerel fishing. I mean, even mono's fine for mackerel, but obviously you get the line capacity with the braid, which is good. And I'm just going to tie on some deadbait rigs which I've made up. So these are basically a chin guard with multiple hooks and there's some single strand wire on there. Obviously mackerel have got sharp teeth, so yeah, a little swivel. You don't need a long trace of wire, just a small one, but yeah, just tie that on there with a uni knot onto the swivel, nothing fancy. Righto, that one's ready to go, ready for a bait. So these are some nice slimy mackerel we've been getting at the moment. So I just put these hooks in the bait like so. I quite often with a bait this size, I just leave the back one trailing. And then basically what we're going to do is push those 2 pins through his head, and that creates a keel. Just try and come out through the centre of his head like so. Yeah, he's swimming alright, so let's send him out. Yeah, I like to run my lines pretty long when I'm mackerel fishing. It's just something I've always done. I don't think they're necessarily a shy fish, like they will come near the boat, but just habit, I guess, run them pretty long. Also gets that bait down a bit deeper as well. we're not far off Caloundra at the moment, and that's the beauty about here. The Spanish mackerel do come in quite close. I'm going to be fishing a few different reef structures today. Basically, at the end of the day, like every other fish, the mackerel are looking for bait. They want to feed, so anywhere where you're marking bait on the sounder is worth trolling, but normally around here the bait does sit on the reef. So I'll be looking for risers in the bottom and bait schools. So that's basically what I'm looking for. You know, you can do this anywhere, Spanish mackerel, all the way up and down the coast. You know, this is my home, so it's easy for me to just sneak out the front here. It's April now. We're actually sort of on the back end of the mackerel season, I suppose. You get a lot of school fish through the summer months, but I really like fishing this time of year because you generally get a bigger fish. Like, there's a chance of a 20+ kilo fish here today, so that's what excites me, and that's why I love April and May off the Sunshine Coast here. You're a real chance of a big Spanish mackerel. Yeah, I'm running a lever drag reel there today, overhead obviously. I just like lever drags. You can, you know, adjust the micro increments on the drag settings, and you know, easy to free spool, stuff like that. So you're not mucking around with the star drag or anything like that. They're a Shimano Speedmaster. Not a super expensive reel, but you know, good line capacity and good drags, and do the job, that's for sure. Yeah, a little patch of bait there. A couple of fish sitting off the side of it. Nothing huge, but a bit more of that's good. Okay, we're on. That's our first Spanish mackerel, I'd reckon. Okay, now the key is try and get him before the sharks. We got a really bad shark problem here at the moment, so we're gonna see how we go. Get him nice and quick. What I'm trying to do is get over the top of the fish pretty quickly. Just like I say, the sharks are really bad, so if I can get over the top of him, sharks are less likely to hammer him. So we're going pretty quick at the moment. Took a nice run at the start there, so hopefully it's a nice fish. So it doesn't feel like a real big fish, but like I said, any Spanish is a good Spanish. So see what we got here. Just ticking along, trying to stay with him. Ah, he's going for another run. He hasn't been eaten yet. I always try and keep the fish off the starboard side if possible, just because that's where my controls are. I can steer, I can use the throttle, and yeah, just makes life a little bit easier. But it's not a bad fish, I reckon. Unless I've hooked him a little bit side on, it feels like a decent fish. Not a huge fish, but a nice one all the same. ourselves a Spanish mackerel. Wasn't the best gaff shot. I normally like to get him close to the head, but he's coming in the boat, so we'll just watch our toes as he comes in. Yeah, he's about 10 kilo. Certainly not a rat, not a monster, but what we came for. So only been trolling about 10 minutes, straight out the front of Caloundra, and target species acquired. Okay, very important, keep your hands, toes, everything away from these mouths. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to brain spike him. This is a ikejime method of dispatching the fish quickly and humanely. And what it does, it really helps make the fish taste better as well. If you brain spike them, kill them instantly, it's the best thing you can do. That hooks out, which is even better. I don't have to deal with that. And then next thing after you brain spike him, we're going to bleed him. These little cutters are great. You don't have to cut their throat or anything crazy like that. I just like to cut their gills, and as you can see, instantly the blood starts oozing from the fish. So I've dispatched this fish as humanely and quickly as possible, and it's going to be the best tasting Spanish mackerel you've ever had in your life. Next job, of course, is to put it in a ice and saltwater brine. So by the time I get home a bit later, the flesh will be set, rigor mortis is set in, it'll be easy to fillet, the flesh will be pure white, no blood. It's fat fish, that one. He's probably about 12 kilos, I reckon. So happy with that. 10 minutes in, target species acquired, Spanish mackerel off Caloundra. Happy days. Okay, well, as you saw, we went to the trouble brain spiking the fish, bleeding him straight away. So next piece of the puzzle to keep your fish as fresh as possible is to put it on ice. So I've got one of these Icy-Tech fish bags. In my opinion, they're by far the best quality fish bag. They hold ice for days. I've got some ice bricks in the bottom, and then I'm going to put the fish in. Hopefully he'll fit. He might just fit. That'll keep him in prime condition until we get him home and whack the fillets off him. There we go. You stick your head in there, buddy. Oh, what are we gonna do? Is that tail going in or not? It's always a problem when the fish don't quite fit. That will be the best tasting Spanish mackerel possible. If you look at sounder now, there's a nice big batch of bait and fish sitting off the side of it. So no wonder there's Spanish mackerel here, you can see why. There we go.
Woo, I got it.
Yeah.
I got like straight away when it went to the bait.
Yep. Okay, we're on again. So he's taken off again now. What's he doing? Oh, he's just here. No, it's only a little one. He's right near the boat. It's only a little fella. Well, obviously I'm getting this fish near the boat. I like to keep the boat going slow ahead, if possible. Lets you control them so they don't go around the motor. You can kind of lead them. A bit like leading the dog on a lead, but if he wants to go, he has to go. I can't stop him. He's not a bad fish. Get him in the boat, eh? So we don't lose him. Well, there's a fish for the camera crew. Still a nice one. That's the main size we've been catching out here lately. Woo. Happy days. Okay, well there's our second Spanish mackerel in the boat for the morning. As I said, there is a 2-boat limit on Spanish at the moment, so 1 per person, 2 per boat, but I've got my cameraman there, so we're allowed 2 fish today. Slightly smaller fish this time, probably around that 7-8 kilos. We've been catching a lot this size lately, school fish. Once again, very important to brain spike the fish. Basically, you just got to kill him instantly. You'll know when you get him, he'll give a bit of a rattle. And yeah, very important. Look at those teeth. You can see why they can chop a bait in half, and definitely don't want to get fingers and toes near them either. I don't call them the razor gang for nothing. So I'll send the blood overboard rather than all through my boat. That's the other good thing about brain spiking them. When you've killed them completely, it's a lot easier to deal with them beside the boat. They're not jumping around on you. Another nice little fish, so that's us for mackerel. Well, the story doesn't end there, guys. Stay tuned for more videos on filleting and cooking these Spanish mackerel we caught, as well as our trip over the Bribey Bar. We'll give you advice on the best ways to prepare them, and Andy Orr takes us into the kitchen for a magic Spanish mackerel recipe with a twist. There's a lot more to come, so join the Coastwatch Club, and don't forget to subscribe to the Coastwatch YouTube channel. And as Brownie always said, don't destroy what you came to enjoy.